Today's first reading is from Exodus chapter 17. The event described there occurred quite early in the 40-year ordeal that the Israelites had in the Sinai desert, probably within the first couple of months. They had just received in chapter 16 manna from God to solve their food problem, and now in this story they've had to deal with a water problem. In terms of geography, the story may have occurred in this area, an area referred to as the wilderness of Sin in the text, where sin probably is not related to the verb sin, just a name given to the area. Here now is the word of God. From the wilderness of Sin, the whole congregation of the Israelites journeyed by stages, as the Lord commanded. They camped at Rephidim, but there was no water for the people to drink. The people quarreled with Moses and said, "Give us water to drink." Moses said to them, "Why do you quarrel with me? Why do you test the Lord?" But the people thirsted there for water, and the people complained against Moses and said, "Why did you bring us out of Egypt to kill us and our children and our livestock with thirst?" So Moses cried out to the Lord, "What shall I do with these people? They are almost ready to stone me." Well, the Lord said to Moses, "Go on ahead of the people and take some of the elders of Israel with you. Take in your hand the staff with which you struck the Nile, and go. I will be standing there in front of you on the rock at Horeb. Strike the rock, and water will come out of it, so that the people may drink." Moses did so in the sight of the elders of Israel. He called the place Massah and Meribah, because the Israelites quarreled and tested the Lord, saying, "Is the Lord among us or not?" This is the word of the Lord. Thanks be to God. Now today's psalm is Psalm 95, which refers back to that Exodus story that we just read. It begins as an encouragement for us to worship God, and then ends by using that story from Exodus that we just read as a warning not to harden our hearts towards God. Listen to the word of God. O come, let us sing to the Lord. Let us make a joyful noise to the rock of our salvation. Let us come into his presence with thanksgiving. Let us make a joyful noise to him with songs of praise. For the Lord is a great God and a great King above all gods. In his hand are the depths of the earth. The heights of the mountains are also his. The sea is his, for he made it, and the dry land which his hands have formed. O come, let us worship and bow down. Let us kneel before the Lord our Maker. For he is our God, and we are the people of his pasture and the sheep of his hand. Oh, that today you would listen to his voice. Do not harden your hearts as at Meribah, as on the day at Massah in the wilderness, when your ancestors tested me and put me to the proof, though they had seen my work. For 40 years I loathed that generation and said, "They are a people whose hearts go astray, and they do not regard my ways." Therefore in my anger I swore, "They shall not enter my rest." So this psalm used the Exodus story. Later on in the New Testament, the author of the book of Hebrews did a detailed Bible study on the Psalms 95 reference to Exodus 17. We are not reading those verses today, but if you are looking for an extra credit assignment, you might look that one up. Hebrews chapter 3, beginning on verse 7 or so, and extending into most of chapter 4. An encouragement for us to stay the course in our trusting of God.